I read the news so that you don't have to. Have you heard about the Battersea Power Station drama? Okay, so imagine turning a power station into luxury flats. Everyone's excited. King Charles turns up. Tim Cook from Apple, he's even there. And then weeks later, your CEO gets fired after saying, hold on, but the numbers don't add up. As you can see, the headline reads, Battersea Power Station in dispute with fired CEO over accounts. So pull up a chair, let me tell you what Guan. Now, if you don't live in London, you may not know, this isn't just about any building. We're talking about Battersea Power Station, once powering 20% of London. Now, it's luxury apartments, 140 plus shops and restaurants, and even Apple's UK headquarters. Now, this project was backed by Malaysian investors, and it's one of the UK's biggest regeneration projects ever. But behind all that glossy marketing, there's been a financial dispute that's been brewing. So here's where the trouble comes in. The CEO, Donna O'Sullivan, I think that's how you say his name, he says that the company overvalued underdeveloped land by hundreds of millions. And then they hid the cost by putting them on the balance sheet instead of the profit and loss. What this would mean in like layman's terms is, say you bought a fixer-upper and then you spent loads on the renovation, but instead of admitting the costs up front, you quietly inflate the future value of the house to make your finances look a little bit better. Here's the problem. There has some independent valuers, like Knight Frank and JLL, and they was like, yeah, that's not worth that much. And in property, external valuations usually win. So there's a big gap, and that is a red flag. So days after the CEO, O'Sullivan, raises these concerns, he gets suspended, then fired. He's claiming whistleblowing retaliation. But the company's like, what does he mean? We don't have any accounting issues. He's just a bad CEO. Actually, he had performance and conduct issues. So now it's whistleblower versus the company, accounting truth versus creative accounting, and reality versus reputation. And this is obviously bigger than O'Sullivan. Battersea Power Station is a massive project, and if he's right, it means investors may have been misled. It also means that asset values could have been inflated, and the returns may not have been what they seem. And remember, the project was backed by public money from the Malaysian pension fund. So on the surface, it's like just this property story, but if you go underneath, it's about trusting in financial reporting and how companies present reality versus perception. And that is the problem, because in finance, when you are playing with valuations, eventually the numbers and the truth can come knocking.